Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. So, with Halloween very quickly approaching, I promise you I'm gonna have some plans for the entire time of at least the end of this spooky month. I was thinking of doing a spooky week, but then I realized I have a lot of stuff going on my plate just on the side. I'm just gonna focus on just covering the stories for now, but I promise you something for like at least the end of the month. We'll have something special. I don't know what, I'll figure something out. I'll chat with Mary, I'll chat with Micah. They got currently a bunch of other personal stuff going on, so maybe you just have me for Halloween. Either way, let's get some RPG horror stories for today. First time GM Power Trip. I recently experienced what I can best call a storm of bad GMing. I'm a happy forever GM, but a few months ago, one of my players asked me if I would join a new game run by a first time GM to give some advice and assistance. After asking a few questions, I agreed bringing the total to 4 players, 2 rangers, 1 fighter, 1 rogue. It's a Warhammer Fantasy adjacent setting the GM has been building for past several years that was heavily prejudiced against magic in all forms. The first several sessions were largely railroaded, but I was willing to roll with it since it was his first game. I'd say about 80% of the game time was him narrating what was happening to us or telling us about how interesting an NPC is. After muddling our way through the story, we ended up tracking down a spider-worshipping cult, attempting to interrupt a summoning ritual, and fighting a massive spider demon to wrap up this arc. Now, all but one of the players had quit the game. If everybody has quit the game, then that feels like everybody stuck it out as best they could until the very end, as bitter as it was, and just said, alright, bye, I'm gone, finally. And that's not a good sign, I gotta be honest. It's not a good sign if players just can't wait to quit your game, and as soon as it's over, say, bye-bye, I'm never returning again. But either way, 80% of talking at players, not with players. That's another thing to note. Notice how it says at players. The one thing, like, sometimes, yes, you do need to narrate a few things here and there, but you shouldn't talk at players. You should talk with players and narrate stuff with them kind of together. Yeah, sometimes you gotta give flavor text here and there, but it doesn't have to take up like even half of the game. As far as I do, it's like, what, 10% for me, and then afterwards it's just interacting to see what the players do, ask them what the characters are doing, and then just narrate from there and go from there and describe what happens around the world as they travel the place, wherever they are. Also, if you have really cool NPCs, it should show that they're cool. Don't tell us they're really cool and have cool lore. Have them talk about it. Have them present how cool they are. Maybe they have an extra gift or a special ability that nobody else has, which is kinda dope. Maybe they're really kind. Don't say they're kind. Show them in character and in roleplay that they are a kind character. That's probably the best thing to do, and the one thing that players will remember. I can make an NPC called Billy Mays and say, oh, Billy Mays is like the greatest spy ever. But like, at the end of the day, I think the best thing to show is to show Billy Mays doing actual spy stuff, you know? Anyway, I'm rambling too much. Let's continue with the story. Here are a few problems we ran into. The fighter is his girlfriend, and it was revealed in the final fight that she's actually a werewolf with a 5-hit multi-attack and a +10 bonus at level 3. Okay, starting off with the ridiculous, not the werewolf part. Players turning into werewolves and like vampires and stuff, Dampier and all that, that's still cool and all. But like 5 multi-attacks, the +10 to hit also is a little bit too much too. Maybe it's because it's their girlfriend, they just want to make him feel extra special. But like, you're playing at a D&D table, the thing you should be doing is, if one player feels special, everybody should feel special, so everybody feels like they're your favorite player. You shouldn't favor one single player. I hope they didn't, but I mean, they're starting off pretty strong with that. The final boss of the act took 3 actions per turn and retaliated against every player attack. He was also immune to attack of opportunity. Edit for additional context, level 3, no magic items, no spells, no subclass, see number 4. Immune to attack of opportunity. I've never seen that. Maybe one of the players grabbed a sentinel feed or something, and that's why they're like, oh, they're immune to opportunity attacks, so you can't sentinel them. I have no idea, honestly. I never heard that one before. Whenever a player used clever reasoning or utilized their character skills to address a situation in a way he didn't like, he would rocks fall, you die, i.e. our local ranger used Hunter's Mark to track a shapeshifter, but apparently Hunter Mark is lost when it changes form since it's a new creature. That's a leap in logic. Nothing is worse than making new players feel useless for using a thing, especially if it's a spell from the limited resource of spell points. Sorry, spell slots. I use spell points. I think they're cool. But anyway, that's still a really dumb thing to do. If the players use a thing, let them track it down. The whole point of rangers actually is to try to track down the creature that they're trying to hunt. But guess what? It doesn't end here. Here's problem number 4. Lastly, and most personally, when we encountered an anti-magic in the final battlefield, my Swarmkeeper's ranger, entire swarm of pixies, instantly died on contact. He told me to pick a new subclass. Huh? Wait! This is anti-magic, not anti-fae. Also, it's a class feature to have a swarm. It could be whatever the ranger wants it to be. Could be birds, could be ravens, could be bugs, could be fae. There's nothing wrong with that. What a bizarre thing to do. Hey, I made this very special thing that makes your subclass absolutely useless. Pick another subclass. What the hell? There's plenty more that happened, but the worst part is that he's not open to any form of discussion about any of this. I did my best to approach him with constructive criticism as he asked me to, but it became so hostile that I gave up in the end. And there's no wonder the rest of the players just straight up left the campaign after it was over. If you're playing with somebody like that, they can't even take criticism. If your DM or player, or really anybody at the table, can't take criticism to be like, hey, maybe this is not the right way to run it, maybe we could run a different way, or a way that makes everybody happy. If they're just like, no, it's my way or the highway, then it's not worth playing with somebody like that. Some DMs have a specific ruling that they will not budge on, and those are typically extremely rare. I think most DMs are very flexible. There are some rulings, however, that may be required for some sort of a plot reason or a plot hook or to get things going. But as long as it doesn't completely invalidate player like agency or the subclass or force them to change an entire subclass, make those spells feel useless entirely, as long as it's something super minor that doesn't affect the game in the grand scheme of things, and it's just there for a specific ruling for a twist, a plot or something. But if it's something like this, where literally a subclass becomes useless and spells of a particular class become useless by the players playing them, then I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's okay at all. And honestly, yeah, I will probably leave the game as well. I'm surprised y'all stayed all the way through till the very end. Maybe things only got worse through and through. But a DM that gets immediately offended and starts getting defensive and even aggressive whenever you try to give him some sort of critiques or talk to him about different rulings and question anything, I think that's a bad DM to play with. Don't play with DMs that literally will not even listen to you or just get extremely defensive as soon as you say, hey, I don't know about that one, Chief. Maybe you could do it a little differently. Either way, let's get to the next story for today. Gaslighting DM abuses the party for fun for almost a year and almost makes me drop D&D forever. So I have a lot to say about this guy and his antics, as I've been brooding over it for like 8+ years now, but I'll try to keep the main stuff he did. Everything he did was in-game. He never actually abused anyone or shouted at them at the table. He was just a crappy DM messing with us and lying about it for his own amusement. I mean, whether it's behavior in-game or out of game, it still kind of sucks. Having being gaslit by the DM the whole time, it doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Like at some point, yeah, there maybe could be a little bit of trickery or red herrings and stuff. But if you're just gaslighting your party the whole time just to gaslight them, just to make them second guess themselves and think they're crazy, I don't think it'd be a really fun game. Doesn't sound like a super fun, enjoyable game. Sounds like a stress fest to me. So we first meet this guy at a place where people typically hang out and play D&D, board game, or just chill. We just had our forever DM leave the country to go to college abroad and need a new one. I found him looking for a group to run for and set up a game. We asked if he could run a pre-written game starting at level 3. He said sure, so I'll be running Horde of the Dragon Queen, as none of us have played the campaign. What we played was not remotely Horde of the Dragon Queen, except for maybe 5% of it. Everything else was his own bullcrap. Been a while, but I think we had a Minotaur fighter, a very inhuman ranger, tiefling rogue, me, and maybe a human or elf sorcerer? Can't really remember because he immediately left the game after first session due to work schedule changing. He was smart to leave early. I wonder if it's actual work schedule changing, or maybe the sorcerer saw the red flags and decided, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm actually wondering, Let's see if we have any obvious red flags. We start by going to a cave that supposedly has a dragon cult in it to bring back proof of the nearby town. We have two NPCs with us who are just there to drag back whatever proof we find, while we finish the dungeon if we are to die or something. The cave is dark and not everyone has night vision, so the Minotaur decides to light a torch. DM tells him to make a dex save to not burn himself because he's covered in fur. He fails and takes some damage. Someone else lights a torch instead and just hands it to him just fine. Oh. What? I'm starting to see why the sorcerer probably left, and there's probably more. This paragraph is not finished. The absurdity behind it. I'm Minotaur. I light a torch. Oh, dex save? I set myself on fire. But if somebody else lights a torch and gives it to the Minotaur, then that's fine. It's fire. It's stupid logic. It's literally DM pulling stupid logic out of nowhere. We step into a cave and see stone pillars covered in spider webs. We have to walk around to get into the cave. We roll dex saves to not touch the webs going around the pillars. We fail, and Blink Spider lunges at one of us and tries to grapple, but fails and disappears. Walk into the cave just fine after that and ask what would have happened if I had been to fail. DM says there would have been blinked into the spider dimension and swarmed by a bunch of spiders and probably died. Yep, I am totally with sorcerer. I think they saw the red flag immediately because that sounds insane. I don't think blink spiders can even do that. Can they? Can they grapple somebody, take him to the ethereal dimension? Speeding things up, we see a poison plant in a corner that would shoot us if we get too close. Sorcerer firebolts it. It hits them with a poison stinger anyway. We'll fight troglodytes and big lizard, where the ranger on his first attack rolls and gets a 1, and the DM tells him his bowstring snaps. Oh. Ranger asks to fix it. DM asks if he has a spare bowstring with him. Obviously he doesn't, so he can't fix it until he gets back to town and someone repair it for him. Rip to the ranger that was bow focused and took sharpshooter. Oh, dude, come on. It's fine if you want to have some sort of weapon degradation mechanics whenever you roll natural 1. But like, at least let your players know, hey, you may want to grab an extra bowstring just in case, because weapon degradation mechanic is a thing. You know what they should have done? If I was a DM in this situation, I'd be like, yeah, you could just go back and just grab some of the webs and just make it out of that. Blink spider web is probably going to be pretty strong for bowstring, so yeah, just go get that. Roll survival for me to make sure you like can do it properly. I don't know, dude. This sucks already. I'm hating this. I'll tell the DM that's dumb and that ones that hurt your characters aren't fun. He says it's to balance natural 20s because they're OP? What? Natural 20s let you roll 2 dice, but it still doesn't guarantee that you're going to do extreme amount of damage. Let's say, for example, I'm playing Barbarian, right? And I'm wielding a Great Axe, and the weapon dice for the Great Axe is a 1d12. If I crit, I'm rolling not 1d12, but 2d12. But there's always a chance that both those 2d12s are just going to be like both 1s. Or 2s, or 3s, and I just won't do high damage whatsoever. How is it overpowered? How is it over? Unless the DM is pulling some sort of a thing where crits are going to be something super special, and every time you roll a natural 20, it's some extra effect that comes, that's a massive boon. Unless they have a specific system for that built in, but they're not telling anything about it, so we don't know anything about it. As far as I can tell, this DM just thinks players rolling a 20 is just too overpowered. Players rolling a crit is just too OP for my game, so I gotta make sure I counterbalance it with the worst mechanics possible. Big lizard with fighting rolls a 1 and claws itself in the face and dies. The big lizard is apparently good enough proof for the 2 NPCs that there's a dragon cult because they keep calling it a drake. So we cut off the head and they go back to town with it. It just clawed itself in the face and died. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. We see a 100-foot wall with an opening on top, and we have to climb up to steal in a cave, and we proceed to roll athletics every 10 feet to go high or fail and fall. Big time waste. Obviously lots of falling and damage, even when we use rope and potions to climb. At the top are 2 chests, 2 inside crevices that are empty, just there to waste your time as the roof slowly moves down to crush you without you noticing and trying to solve a puzzle. Literally nothing. Moving forward, we see an altar of Tiamat and a giant black dragon egg in a transparent diamond case, enchanted with 1,000 curses that will kill you instantly if you touch it. DM like to do this kind of stuff a lot. just throw the biggest stuff you can think of us that we can only look at and go wow at. Two half-dragons, not dragonborn, who are cracked out stat-wise, step forward and fight us, ending with them grappling and dragging the Minotaur onto a teleport sigil at the back of the room where he meets face to face with Tiamat in some realm she's trying to escape from. I don't know. She curses him and tells him to screw off and get the lizard head in NPCs 2 back to town and return to the cave because it's her property, or else. The Minotaur is thrown back to the party and tells us we gotta get the head back or he probably dies. He then starts hearing numbers in his head that sometimes go up and sometimes go down. The numbers were nothing, they were just supposed to be vague, ominous, and threatening from the DM, but it was lame and never went anywhere or meant anything. So we leave the cave, go to town, see it burn down, and Mayor tells us he passed the head onto the next town on a wagon as proof to get help. So now we are literally railroaded, found the head to hope the fighter doesn't die. We need a wagon to catch up and we offered a small crappy one, or a big fancy one. We take the small one because the big one would take pretty much everything we have to buy. We get to a mountain pass with a steep drop off this side to one side and see the big wagon would have been too big to pass through, would have had abandoned here if we took it. Good thing we didn't spend all our money just to get screwed over by the DM because he thought it would have been funny for that to happen. If you get in the kicks out of seeing the player base get screwed over, you suck as a DM and you need to step down as a DM. You're not a fun DM if all you get are your little jollies from seeing people just dealing with nonsense constantly. Seriously, don't do that. Don't be a shitty fucking DM that screws players over constantly just to get your little giggles in. Funny situation everybody can enjoy. Instead of just, hey, how can I screw over the players today? Let's do it today. I love gaslighting and screwing players over and making it painful for them to play. This is like session 3 at this point. Everything blurs together for a while. Just gonna bullet point quick things. Ranger wants to join Ranger Guild. Gets told he'd have to catch a magic invisible venomous elk that's alive and bring it to them to get in, or he has to do it alone. I have to beg him not to get himself killed because I'm getting wise to the DMs pulling kill hits on us. We are like level 4 and things was what, CR 7? Totally homebrewed nightmare creature just to kill the ranger, honestly. Pretended he had other people in other groups try to do it and be clever about it and set traps and still died to it. I don't think that ever happened. I think we had like 3 people join and leave somewhere in the middle, but I don't have much to say about it. Usual drop-ins and drop-outs, but we had enough to keep going. First big town we get to, we go on a whole ass adventure to find someone to sell a +1 bow to the ranger, because the smith has weapons for everyone else, but not bows, and the only bow guy was in the soldier's barracks and had to sneak into it to buy it from him, at which point the bastard freaking doubled the price. The player was like, what the hell? Whatever. Okay. DM was asked why the big price, and he just said he didn't even try to haggle, even though the smith gave regular prices. The DM freaking hated the Rangers player because he would screw him over relentlessly. Sounds like a kind of DM that just was bullied in middle school and just like, yes, this is my time to shine, to be mean, because Jeremy took my lunch money. And it's just unnecessarily mean, unnecessarily tedious too. You guys have heart of steel to stay sticking through this for this long. Honestly, after the whole bow thing, after the whole Tiamat dragon thing, I'd be like, yep, nope, never mind. I'm not interested. I rather watch paint dry. At some point, the ranger died. Literally can't remember how. And comes back with a bard next session he is really happy with. We'll fight some encounter with bandits, go on a toll road scam robbery thing with one 50-foot high tower on the side of the road, with a gate between them and a crossbow guy at the top of each. We fight them, Bart goes down from crossbows, fighter stabilizes him and puts a shield in the dirt sticking up and gives his body cover, so he's not just in the open and runs to the towers. Crossbow guy keeps shooting the unconscious Bart and kill him. DM said, well, they couldn't fully see him and didn't know he was unconscious. Bard player really said his new character immediately died the first session. Every single time the DM gives an excuse, it's with a shrug and a smile as if it's not his fault. This is the kind of DM that I absolutely hate. You know what? I've had a DM similar to it. Well, it's not my fault that your character died. I totally didn't use NPCs to just constantly bombard your dead body before your character could properly stabilize just to ruin your fun of the game and just purpose to go for the one that's not able to do anything for themselves. Like, it's one thing if a player is actually up and about and, you know, they're kind of weak and everything, but like, if they don't do the smart thing and back away and try to heal or take cover and everything, right? Yeah, clap them out of the way and force them to go down. But like, if they're already down, and like, what's the point for the fighter to put up the shield in the ground? To protect them? Oh, it doesn't work apparently, because DM said so, because DM just wants to get the part killed. It's not my fault, even though DM is the one controlling the whole thing. Fuck you, DM. Fuck you and the stupid dumb bullshit horse you rode it on. You stupid fucking dickhead. I hate this DM so much. What a prick. We spot a key tied to a flag on the roof of one of the towers. I acrobatics up and get it without falling to his death. Find chest with a key, but it looks like a little sussy, like it had glowing eyes. No taking any chances. I hit the chest. The eyes glow dim. I hit it again. The eyes glow dark. I hit it again. It breaks open and out pops a small hand-sized chest the key fits into. Open it and there's a pouch inside. I say to not put anything inside and instead turn it upside down and let what's inside fall out of the way of you. The Tiefling Paladin turns it upside down and the DM says make a dex save. He fails. DM says magic powder brushes against him as it falls out and he disappears. It was a planar shift, San, and he got teleported randomly to the plane of fire permanently and is dead. Comes back next game with a lizard man. I wish I could plane shift this stupid fucking DM to abyss and just never see him again. Jesus Christ, dude, like seriously. He finds every way to screw the party over. Oh, there's a little bag inside the thing. Oh, okay. Well, I don't trust the DM, so here, we're gonna do this. Make a dex save. Why? I'm putting it away from me, DM. It is at hand reach. I'm tossing it out away from me. Make a dex save anyway, because I want to find a way to screw you over either way. God, I hate this DM so much. Jesus Christ. You ever just want to toss a guy into a wall? I do. We do a short puzzle dungeon under a burned down town barracks, and when we come out with a scroll of wish we get from it, the DM says we run into the sort of spooky prophetic witch lady that we had seen like 2 times before, and was helpful in guiding us and was obviously way at our league in combat potentially. Literally he says we see her as we're leaving, and then to roll initiative. I'm way onto his bullcrap, but haven't left the game, joke's on me. And tell everyone who's eagerly rolling and get ready to fight her to just hold on and not attack her. Because she hasn't said anything and DM didn't say she was attacking us. I'm begging everyone to just wait and not attack her, and everyone passes their turn. It's her turn and combat ends. Hello friends. Ask him why the hell we rolled initiative if she wasn't actually attacking us, and he says, that's what it says in a book. There was no book. Everything was being assholed as it went in. I didn't realize until the second time he used that excuse. I have more, but this is pretty long already. I literally can't shorten it down and be understandable for how crap everything was. Some of the worst stuff was the DMPC he threw in because we were down to 3 players. As much as I hate you talking about this DM because I really hate how bad this DM is, just how crappy they are, I am interested. I want to know about how bad they do DMPC. Listen, I get it, like I'm a hot-blooded tiefling, and I'm obviously mad at this guy because this guy's been a complete asshat. But like these stories are what to not do, and we're learning a lot here. And even though I'm a little bit agitated from reading the entire thing and actually really want to toss this DM up a wall, I am interested to know about the DMPC. So OP, if you do post about it, I would love to read it. I really want to see how bad it can get. Seriously, the amount of gaslighting and poking and prodding and just making fun of people. Why? I'm surprised y'all didn't leave. I'm surprised y'all didn't leave. If you're onto his crap, you should have been like, nope, that's it. I'm off. I'm done. This is too much. This is too stupid. I'm done with it. Anyway, if your whole prerogative of playing as a DM is just to gaslight people and make fun of them and toy with them like little puppets in your little mini game, you probably aren't cut out to be a DM. At least a good DM that's enjoyable. DMs should be playing. DM is literally not like a great overlord. They're just another player at the table. Except they're not playing as a player character, they're playing as the NPCs and the rest of the world and making the combat and the universe and everything. They're the narrator of the experience, so to speak. And it's a give and take, a back and forth. It's a unique storytelling medium where everybody gets involved to build a story together. But if the DM is constantly just fibbing everything every single time and gaslighting everybody about different events happening, like unnecessary initiative roll for no reason, and giving some lame ass excuse, because the book said so. Fuck you about that, buddy. The book didn't say shit. You're pulling this out of your ass completely. This is just absolute crock of shit. I'm surprised the players are even playing this. But like, I'm both mad because the players should have left a long time ago, followed the sorcerer, but also I really want to see how bad this disaster gets. So if the DMPC story is posted, hopefully we get to cover it soon. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.